So John is looking for a second date update today with a lady named Caitlyn. Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, good morning. How's it going?
Not bad. Maybe take us from the beginning. Tell us how you met Caitlyn, how the first date went, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, we actually met at church. I attend Crossroads, and so it was a Sunday, and she was kind of sitting close to me, and we made a little bit of small talk before services started, and we kind of talked a little bit afterwards, and I said, hey, what are you doing now, and would you like to join me for brunch? And she's like, sure, that'd be great. She didn't have any plans, and so we went over to Wild Eggs right after church, and that ended up being our first date, and it went really well. She's really sweet woman, and she has a job, so that's good.
That's good. That's positive. All right.
Yeah, I mean, she works in HR, so she's kind of a people person, and she had some plans after brunch. So after we just kind of parted ways at that point after eating, which was, by the way, very nice. We had very nice kind of brunch together and just kind of laughed a lot and just got to know each other. And I thought that we had kind of said, hey, we'll do this again. So we exchanged numbers, and that was the plan. And since then, I've called, I've texted, and I'm kind of surprised that I got totally ghosted. I haven't even seen her at church since then. So I don't know what is going on. Did she freak out or move or...
Well, it was, I will say, kind of a spontaneous, quick morning. You're in church, you make eye contact, you start chatting, you walk over and have brunch immediately following.
Oh, I'll bet that happens all the time.
Sure, but I mean, it's not the normal, we met, we chatted online for 2 weeks before one of us had the guts to actually meet up in person, and then we talked, and it was boom.
I wonder how many relationships have blossomed out of meeting at church. I mean, just Crossroads alone, because it's such a big church.
Huge.
How many relationships and marriages have sprouted from meeting
probably tons.
Their partner at church?
Well, and some of those services are huge, like the downstairs, the upstairs.
That's what I'm saying. It's a great place to meet people in person. Or at least you assume that you have similar philosophical beliefs.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like we did. I mean, when, we mostly just kind of talked about our jobs and a little bit about our family and, what we were kind of about. But yeah, it really just felt like we were very similar, from similar backgrounds, and I was pretty much psyched. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't really expect to meet somebody that morning when I showed up to church. I was just going to church, So
yeah,
it was just kind of nice, but it felt very organic, and I just kind of felt like, oh, this could really be something. And so otherwise I wouldn't be calling you guys.
Yeah.
Seeing.
I don't know what to tell you. I guess we got all the information we need. Now I'm craving brunch. Thanks. I think you said you left a voicemail message as well, John?
Yeah, I texted, I left a voicemail, and, I didn't want to be too crazy and call over and over, but, I did call a few times, and I left one voicemail and a few texts just in case she missed, the first two.
Okay. And you've received no response from her. Plus, you said you haven't seen her in church either. Although it is a big church, it's probably easy to get lost in there.
Well, and also they have multiple services and
locations.
Locations. There was some online stuff going on.
Nevertheless, she's not. Huh?
No, I was just saying. Yeah, I really did feel like that was kind of our main connection was being from the same church and stuff like that. We did kind of hit it off based upon that, just because we felt like we had the same values.
For sure. But unfortunately, she's not responded to any of his attempts to communicate, so we're going to go ahead and call Caitlyn and just try to see what's up.
Hello?
Hi, can we speak to Caitlyn, please?
This is Caitlyn.
Hey, Caitlyn. It's Jeff and Jen and Fritch and Tim, the whole team here at Q102. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm really good, thanks.
Good. You got a few minutes to chat with us on the radio? We had a couple questions for you. It's not an ambush, I promise. We just want to talk.
Oh, my God. Please do not tell me you're calling about John.
Why would that be a bad thing? He sounds like
Yeah,
a very
that
nice
fucking
guy.
guy.
You met at church. He said you two seem to hit it off. You seem philosophically in line with each other.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
What?
I mean, that guy,
Oh, my goodness.
okay, yeah, we had a good date. We went to brunch. But, like, you've got to do your research, right?
Right.
You know, if we're going to go out again, I want to know I don't know anything about him. He just, like, sidled on up to me at church. He could be anybody.
Right, but you did agree to go to brunch with you did go to brunch with him, did you not?
Yeah, it's a public place, you know?
So he struck enough interest during brunch that you wanted to learn a little more, which I feel like is a good thing, right?
You got to do the recon, Jeff. You got to stalk, the Facebook pages. You got to
he's up
see,
to.
do you have
I
friends
was
in
gonna go
common?
to-
Do we know each other? That kind of thing.
Understood. So
Yeah.
is that what you did after the date and you found something?
Yeah, because he's good looking and he seems nice. He's got clean fingernails, good manners.
Clean fingernails is good.
I just got to do my due diligence.
Of course. So what'd you find?
Well, like, I looked on Facebook first, and, like, I didn't get very much. He's like, it must be on private.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said it was him. It was hard to tell because the picture wasn't his, like, image.
Okay.
And then I couldn't find him on Instagram, and so I Googled him. And, okay, this is where it gets very interesting. It's like, mostly the only thing I found was an old arrest from Warren County.
Oh, boy.
And, yeah.
Did it say what it was for?
Brace yourself, yeah. My brother-in-law works for the county, and I was just like, you got to look this guy up. And but wait, you hear what this fucker did. So he gets arrested from his old job for fucking jacking some guy off in exchange for oxys and Percocets.
What?
What did he
Yeah.
do?
He was jacking some guy off at work in exchange for oxys and Percocets.
When was this?
I didn't get all the detail. I was just like, this is too much.
You got the Cliff's Notes version.
Yeah, and I can't go through a whole thing of, like, conversion therapy and fucking rehab with this dude.
I don't even know where to go. I don't.
So wait
And
a
you're-
minute.
you're
If
sure you
he's-
got the
But
same
if he's
guy?
charged with something like that, wouldn't he be in jail?
He got off on some technicality, but, like, whatever. I
That
don't want to
is
talk to this
pretty
guy.
bleeped up,
Well, do you
man.
think, let me play devil's advocate, do you think maybe he is you met him at church, maybe he's there because he's found the path towards getting away from the drugs or whatever he was having issues with?
And you're asking me to be, like, a good Christian or something.
I'm not saying I would have made a different choice than you.
Right.
My first instinct would have been to follow up and ask him about it, which we have John on the line now. And John, if you don't mind talking about this, can
What
you fill
the
us in
hell?
on what that's all about?
Well, this is kind of hard for me because, like, I'm in recovery right now. I'm an addict, and I've admitted that, and I'm trying to turn my life around, and I'm in a 12-step program, and what you're talking about, it was a long time ago, and, like, I'm not that person anymore. Everybody has demons in their past, and that's mine, and I can't run from it. I can't hide from it. If you want to, like, look me up and, like, figure out, like, who I was before and what I did in my past, and, like, how many people did stuff years ago when they were much younger, they got into some stuff, and, they try to change themselves. And I'm trying to change myself, and that's why, did I talk about that I do drugs at brunch? That am I, like, trying to prostitute myself? No. I guess I thought that, like, we hit it off and we had something going on. I wasn't looking, like, marry you. I just wanted to, like, have a second date and, like, maybe we'd go somewhere because I felt like we hit it off. But I guess I'm totally wrong about that.
Well, the one thing I will say is a lot of people who were in John's situation would have just hung up at this point out
Yeah.
of shame or embarrassment.
For sure.
Because they're busted or whatever. But the fact that John hung out on the phone and was willing to address this and talk about
Have
it.
the conversation.
True.
Well, I just want to kind of stand up for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody else that's in any kind of recovery program, addiction is, you're responsible for your actions and you take responsibility for what you've done. But once you're off the drugs, you can actually change who you are. Like, you are a different person. Like, people that knew me then and know me now, they know I'm a different person.
Right.
Wow, yeah.
They know that I've changed. I can't change the past. What can I say? And if I'm being judged on that by you, I don't know what to say.
How long have you been clean, John?
2 years, 26 months, exactly 819 days.
Wow, good for you, man.
And I work every day at it, and I don't want to be judged by the person I was 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
Right.
I want to be judged
Neither do
by
I.
the person that I have been for the last 26 months.
So, John, would you be open to going on a second date if her mind has been changed?
We need to see where she is at on this, too. Like, after hearing all of this, I mean, how are you feeling?
I feel that people can grow, and, he isn't necessarily the same person he was. It doesn't sound like it makes sense to me. And I think, while you were talking, I've just been thinking, I think hearing it when I talked to my brother-in-law, it just really freaked me out. I think my head went to the worst place.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty shocking
you don't
thing
have
to
all
find
the
out. Yeah.
information, and then you start, sort of spinning out.
Right.
Because before I found that out, I'm like, he's so cute, we got along, finally met somebody cute that I like. And then you get this, disappointment, then you get this, I can't believe, in my head, I'm like, he likes guys, he doesn't like girls, and he's trying to trick me. I don't know. You just start to, you can spin out of things, but, listening to you, John, and, hearing that, and now I feel kind of bad,
Well, listen, it's up to you guys. If you want to sit down and talk and have another conversation in person, we'd be more than happy to set that up for you. We'll pay for a lunch or a brunch or whatever.
I'd like to even just to have a conversation that's not on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then maybe if you decide to go out on a date, we could take care of it at that point.
Totally
maybe
up
just
to
talk to each other and become friends and then figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love that if we could, find some kind of new way to maybe approach this. I don't.
I assume this was something you were planning on telling her eventually, John, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was just going to say. It's I just don't usually.
You don't like to lead with that?
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I used to do a lot of drugs and, kind of, I don't want to go into it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But I share that with people who I feel like,
People you trust.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's not necessarily an icebreaker, if you will.
Yeah.
It's not something that you break the ice with. So,
Okay, we'll leave it at that then. John, thank you so much for putting yourself out there, hanging in there with us, and having the conversation.
yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I guess maybe I should have told you guys that maybe this was a possibility, but I didn't really think that
that would come up.
that was what this was about.
Fair enough. And Caitlyn, thanks for hanging in there and hearing them out.
Yeah. This went better than I expected, so I'm glad, actually, that we talked.
Well, you guys stay in touch,
Okay.
Definitely will.
Bye.
and good luck to you both.
Thank you.